Hi, dear language learners. Here are 3 hacks that you can use immediately in your life if you find yourself in a situation where you feel excluded whenever you try to speak a new language, or whenever you're trying to integrate in a new culture, or if you find yourself in an expatriate situation where you are already living in a new country and trying to integrate. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex. I'm a social psychologist, and I use the fundamental laws of social psychology to help you make your language learning journey far easier, far more enjoyable, and to have you speak with unshakable confidence. And before we dive in, before I forget, please make sure to drop me a comment how these tips help you. I'm actually giving away this week, for every comment I get, I'm giving away 3 copies of my bestseller, Everyday Nano 7 Steps to Fluency. This ebook is actually helping you knowing the fundamental dynamics that are going on in social psychology when you're learning a language, and they enable you to have far more rapid memorization and confidence when speaking. But now let's start. So, step 1. What is going on when we have that feeling of exclusion, when we feel we're just not fitting in, and when we feel we don't belong? In social psychological terms, it's called the in-group, out-group dynamic, and it dates back to the 1980s to research that was done by Tashwell and Turner on what is called the social identity or social identity theory. And basically, it means that we define part of our self-esteem and the way in which our way of being, our way of feeling good about ourselves is defined by the social groups we belong to. And the more we interact with other people within our social reference group, the more we feel in our comfort zone, the more we feel a sense of belonging, the more we feel good. This is our cocon. This is our social protection. The more we interact with people from outside or from different groups that we might not know that well, the more we start feeling uncomfortable. And it's also in the theory of prejudice, the more we might prejudge other people because we don't know that social group so well. So for language learning, and this is step one is being aware of that. So dear viewers, please drop me a comment whenever you have such a situation, when you entering a new social group through a language or a new culture, drop me a comment of how you feel in that situation. So the self-awareness and awareness of how the other person might feel is really the first step, because as soon as you know that this is something going on in I call that the collective subconscious. There's not only an individual subconscious, there's also a collective subconscious, which means that these dynamics, they happen all the time. It's automatic. It's something that you can't suppress. Therefore, I stress step 1 so much. The fundamental thing you can do, and people always underestimate how important these social psychological processes are, because they actually can make us feel really bad if we're not aware of them. So step 1 is self-awareness and awareness of how the other person might feel. And this is something subconsciously going on. And when you get that feeling, that sudden rush of, oh, I don't belong, I don't feel comfortable, regain your power by saying to the other person how you feel. And that's step 2. That's actually articulating your feeling, and you might want to even draw in other people and articulate with these other people your feeling about, oh my God, this is the first time I'm speaking in this language to you, and it makes me feel quite weird. You just made a joke that I didn't understand. Can you help me with that? I would go about it like that. Let me know in the comments what you tend to do in those situations. The aim of my video is actually that in those situations that you don't withdraw, that you don't freeze, that you don't give up, and kind of next time you want to speak with people from a different culture, you kind of freeze and you don't say anything at all, or you feel weird. That I want to avoid. So that was step 1. Step 2, the verbalization of that. Remember last video where I talked about identity loss that's linked to that phenomenon? where I recommended to you to have archetype phrases ready, phrases that you always have ready, that in those awkward situations that you can say and talk about your feeling. No matter how awkward it feels, you need to verbalize how you feel because the other person doesn't know. So what I tend to say is, oh, when you just made that joke that I didn't understand because it was too quick, and also I don't live here that long, it makes me feel really weird and it makes me feel kind of excluded. Could you explain to me what you mean by that? That is the kind of type of phrase I tend to use, and it helps me a lot because the other person then gets aware of that I feel awkward, and that creates social bonding, basically. And that is what we want to achieve, right? We want to bridge the gap between the groups. Now, step one is also when I said, step two is also when I said earlier about drawing in other people. You might from the outset want to think about joining study groups, joining other expatriate groups, joining online forums where you meet people who are in a similar situation than yourself, and where you actually can share on a daily basis your feelings, how you go about learning a language. And that makes this whole entering new groups far more a routine, something that you do normally. And then you don't feel like when it happens, this feeling of belonging, you don't feel awkward about it at all. You know it's normal and you can articulate it. And now the final step, step three, is something that you know I'm passionate about, is smaller objectives. The smaller you put your personal objective in a new language, the happier you will be. Try it out. Leave me a comment also how small you define your objectives. I mean, for me, the objective is as small as being able to greet in a more or less normal way, normal in the new culture, in my next language. So at the moment, I'm practicing situations. As you know, I'm on this channel also on an adventure of learning my fifth language, Italian. Check out if you're also learning Italian, I invite you to join. Check out the shorts that I publish very, very periodically, let's say, not every day, but every other day. I am actually having a goal that is to get along with Italian speakers in such a way that at least I can greet them, that in a similar way that I would in my fluent other languages, that I would actually build some rapport with them, show them that I appreciate their presence, that kind of thing. So that is a small goal. It's not that I want to immediately be able to talk about complex topics or have a debate about a topic that is multifaceted and that might lead to misunderstandings. That would not be my goal. And the smaller you put your daily goal of learning as well, again, check out my Everyday Nano Method. It is something that can keep your motivation up in a natural and automatic way, because motivation shouldn't have to come very hard. You know, I want you to feel happy and motivated about the language learning on a daily basis, and not just when you have that perfect weekend where you have a lot of time. Okay, so don't forget to follow for more. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you, and join me next time in my next video. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.